Hey, you, yes, you. Do you like cool science fiction / fantasy comics by independent artists who experiment with genre, medium, and storytelling? If the answer is yes, I have something for you. Griz Gorbus and the Tale of AZKON's Heart. In a remote village on the colony planet Altamira, a scientist from the capital is caught trying to steal an ancient device from the tomb of the first mayor. The strange object is the processing unit that once powered the bulky robot that lies dormant in the center of the town. This machine was used by the first settlers to establish a presence in the Gorbus Valley. The scientist wanted to bring the artifact to the university in the capital where it could be properly studied and used to discover some of the lost technology of the settlers, but the villagers want to use it to resurrect the ancient guardian of their settlement, Griz Gorbus. They reboot the robot, who introduces himself as Father Stanley. The name Griz Gorbus doesn't seem to ring a bell. Father Stanley asks the villagers to start harvesting the wild Gorbus root that grows all over the valley. A strange request because everyone knows the plant is poisonous. Questions about the town's early history and why the Gorbus root should be cultivated remain unanswered, so the scientist and the mayor delve into every historical record available. Official databases return nothing, but there are still the mayoral tomes, secret records passed on from one mayor to the next. They reveal that the helpful Father Stanley has a disturbing secret. Someplace entirely different, the siege of Zatiko reaches its 62nd day. In the attacker's encampment, the cook is preparing a meal for the wizard who is about to perform an important ritual. He sends one of the soldiers who hasn't gone to the front lines to go kill a geese, something the man isn't very happy about. When the meal arrives in the sorcerer's tent, it's already time for the ceremony, leaving the man with an empty stomach. Back in the kitchen, the cook asks his assistant, Yanis or Janice, why he's not going out to fight, wondering if the sight of blood makes him squeamish. Yanis explains that he's a conscientious objector and doesn't want to kill people in some useless war. He gets pretty aggressive about it, but the cook is just glad he can handle blood because more geese need to be cooked for tonight. Elsewhere, the wizard begins the ritual to summon AZKON, first son of heaven, lord of war, to help them finally break the siege. During the ceremony, the wizard's mind keeps going back to his delicious meal getting cold and his stomach growls. So instead of making the chosen warrior a vessel for AZKON's power, the magical orb shoots away, landing somewhere else inside the camp. At the exact moment Yanis finds the courage to kill the next animal, the golden sphere burns through the roof of the tent. The goose stands upright on the chopping block surrounded by magical flames and declares, "You're a big one for a footman. I hope you're not afraid of certain death." While these two stories seem very disconnected at first, they end up fitting together in a really interesting way. And while I don't want to spoil any of your enjoyment of the surprises this story has to offer, I am going to recommend you to buy something, so I feel obligated to give you a bit of a hint as to the direction it's going for. We follow the scholar on her day-to-day adventures trying to uncover the history of Altamira, which was settled a long time ago by apparently religious colonists. She visits a great variety of places and people and witnesses just enough strange and intriguing things that by the end you'll want to dive even deeper into this world. I really want to figure out what took Altamira from a hopeful colonial project for the future of mankind to an isolated world in a technological dark age. And the story of Yanis and AZKON is just as interesting. As a bird, the god of war will gain a whole new perspective on the world of mortals and the nature of war. But he's not someone who breaks habits easily. At one point, he leads an assault standing on Yanis's head, controlling the poor man with his powers. That is all I'm going to give you right now, because if any of that sounded interesting, you need to go support this project. I backed the Kickstarter, but that has ended already, but you can still pre-order the printed edition of this comic on Simon Roy's website. I'll leave a link in the description, maybe also his Twitter. He's very funny on there, go follow him. The entire comic is also available on Webtoon if you don't have the funds to buy something physical. I just think you should enjoy this story. Since I'm going to receive this printed version any minute now, I could make a YouTube short reviewing it when it arrives. But yeah, I just wanted to recommend you this obscure comic. It's really good and you should read it. I liked it a lot. That's all for now, bye.